And then there was a lot of nice scenes that were just right there, you know, no problems. But we couldn't use them for various reasons. But we wanted, and everybody wanted to use them, but sometimes it's like that. And now you will see some of these scenes.
Yeah, well, one of the things just to picture how our CEO, Jan Wellman, was like.
Like I told you, I worked for over 10 years in advertising sector, and that's not exactly a conservative business area either.
We had these Monday morning personnel meetings. So he sent his secretary out to buy a guitar.
But by God, was it disciplined in comparison.
And in a very rock and roll manner.
I was really shocked by that first.
In the middle of his sentence, he grabbed this guitar and smashed it to the floor.
I mean, in a company where CEO is applauded for breaking a guitar.
Pieces of wood were flying across the room.
What do you have to actually do to be unprofessional?
Then he stepped on the guitar and said, "Here in Riot-E we have been living like Ewoks."
Ja se, mikä Riot teki väärin, se olisi pitänyt enemmän tähän niin kuin nyrkkiä käyttää.
He said that in future we must be like Darth Vader.
No one ever understood what he was talking about.
Rutiisijat saavat rutista. Jotenkin tämmöinen niinku ruotsalainen työilmapiiri, missä niinku kaikki saa sanoa sanottavansa. Paskan marjat.
But he got huge applause every time.
And that same evening, we were supposed to have the summer party. Do we have to come, I said to this guy. Yes, you need to come, John, we'll bond. We have an adventure together. There I was on this fucking boat. There we had this freshly hired human resource guy. He looked like a male model. And this genius of psychology tells us that, okay, now choose one person you don't know in Riot and put your hand on his shoulder. I was fucking disgusted.
You have to allow for mistakes. And not only allow for them, you have to enforce mistakes. Then you have to create an atmosphere where those mistakes will be done as fast as possible. And I would say the first 6 months were excellent in the way we were basically executing mistakes.
Riot's sauna and fantastic 3-story building in in Helsinki, is stuff of legend. I mean, they weren't exactly living on the bread line.
And what comes to sauna, well, that one we definitely needed.
Yeah, well, I've been shocked also, and I complained.
And, I don't think Mr. Bose really hated it that much. At least he joined our moments in sauna. And,
I thought, again, it's because they didn't allow me to use the sauna. Otherwise, I wouldn't complain.
I think lots of things happened in the sauna.
There was all these mixed screwing acids in every company. The human resource guy that we had freshly hired, he screwed the best-looking girl. I don't think she even was really ashamed of it. I mean, a married woman and everything. And I guess it's what all corporate companies do to get to know each other better.
There was a lot of parties and quite a lot of drinking going on within the company.
So it must have been exotic for the foreign managers.
I'll have to say it was a cultural difference. I don't know enough about normal Finnish culture, but it's not something I'd come across in my previous working time.
But I think they enjoyed it.
Siis mä olen monesta asiasta John Hakalaksin kanssa eri mieltä. Mutta se on sanottava John Hakalaksin kunniaksi, että hän oli ainoa meistä foundereista, jolla riitti näkemysrohkeus kritisoida jo palkkausvaiheessa lukuisia näitä Iso-Britanniasta ja Yhdysvalloista, Intiasta ja Singaporesta raahattuja IT-kehäraakkeja. Hän oli siellä, mikä sanoi Jan Wellmanille, että ootko muuten huomannut, että toi kaveri ei osaa ei niin kuin mitään.
He's losing it.
Kukaan ei esimerkiksi huomannut missään vaiheessa, että meidän Marvelin ja Sormusten herran tuottajat eivät tehneet mitään muuta kuin PowerPointteja.
That's not necessarily good.
Ja pumppasivat vaan tavallaan ilmaa siihen, kun alettiin puhumaan tuoteuniversumeista ilman tuotteita.
Is it real? Is it real?
Kun kysyttiin, sillä kuulemma ole väliä.
Yeah. if things go successfully, people very seldom know what was actually the reason for success. But failures, people normally have pretty good ideas.
At one point we were running a trivia game about basketball, and Filipinos are basketball crazy. And it got to the point that the wife of this guy was actually calling customer service and saying, is there any way you can cut my husband's phone off so that he at least goes to bed or pays attention to me, because he's not doing anything else except playing the game. He was answering something like about 1,000 questions a day to try and get to the high score of the day or the high score of the week. Of course, there was a prize in it, but I think he spent a lot more in terms of SMS than the prize that he would actually win.
We have all these brands that it's possible that somebody like Warner Brothers will buy a company for like $2 billion and I will be fucking rich, or more, $20 billion at some point, and I will be stinking rich. And that was one fascinating. I wanted to be so rich that I could say being rich is meaningless. That was one of my dreams, to be able to throw out money out the window. Usually billionaires are the most greedy suckers. They're going to pay that, and I'm in control, I'm in control. I don't want to be in control if I'm rich. I want to be like fucking burning it.
Yeah, there was a lot of stress, and I can even remember one person to start crying about half an hour before the launch, just because nothing worked before that. And especially in Tim's case, we had that thing working 12 minutes before the fair started. So I didn't have any sleep, but I promise you that I went to the bar after that.
When things are going into the wrong direction and getting ugly, and the business is not going the way it's supposed to be, that's a situation where you experience the best and the worst of the people.
Pasi and Henry approached me, talked with me, and are you suicidal? Is everything okay? Because people, it's embarrassing to shoot yourself, if something goes wrong and if it's blood all over. People don't like that. Could have been bad for selling the company. They might have lost money even.
And personally, it was great to see some of the best of the people, but I don't mind if I'll never have to see the worst of the people again.
I stayed till the bitter end, till the last hour. I was actually experiencing when people took my laptop off and they took the chair off. And I was still, they expected me to come every morning to work. I was expected to come. And everything was taken away, and you were sitting there, and the last drop was really when they asked us to clean up, because they wanted to save money. They wanted to humiliate us, I think. And I had the feeling like Riot was such a legend, that we had so much fun and burned so much money, and we had this great sauna that was, talk of the town. So I felt like people felt like it's good for us to suffer. And they had no idea how much we suffered already just by failing.